Welcome to another episode of the Cyber Security Boardroom. My name is Vince Shoto, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, T Soul. T, how
What's
you
up,
doing,
Vince?
man?
Doing good. Doing good.
Cool. We got updates.
Well, they have an update. So they're saying that
And CDK is who again? CDK for our
this,
viewers
so
is
they do, so they produce and they run this, it's a dealer management system.
yeah,
And so that's a piece of software that they use to do everything.
yeah,
Talking, that's how you sign deals. That's how you
yeah,
deal with service. That's how
yeah.
they deal with payroll, accounts receivable. That's been down since end of, let's see, June 18th. Since June 18th, these dealerships have been using pen and paper because the CDK
Dude,
software was breached.
dealerships have so much overhead, man. They have
Right.
so much overhead that they can't afford to lose a day's worth of productivity, let alone since
Exactly.
the 18th. That's nuts.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, we were speaking with a friend,
Yeah.
colleague, and he was saying that he went to get his car serviced this
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
and they were writing everything down on paper.
Can you
And he was
imagine?
asking them, saying, "So what's going on? When you guys are going to be back up?" And there's that, "Oh yeah, everything's under control. Everything's under control." They have no
It's
idea.
fine.
They have no idea.
Yeah.
These dealers, they're at the mercy, right, of CDK. They have no idea. When CDK tells them they're going to come back up, then that's when they're going to come back up. But up until that time, they're losing money hand over fist on efficiency and
Yeah.
effectiveness. I'm sure they're not being as effective as they can. So sorry, man. What were you saying? What's the update with these guys?
Should be tonight or tomorrow. So it should be a happy fourth, but we'll see. And you know what's crazy?
What?
Um, these threat actors, they're still calling. They're still calling and posing as CDK affiliates to gain unauthorized access.
Yeah, beat them all. They're down, man.
So, this last breach happened while they were recovering from a breach the day before.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't happen a third time.
Mm-hmm. So
We'll
when you're
see.
boxing somebody and you got them in a corner and you hit
You
them
don't
with a
want them out of the
blow,
corner.
when you hit him with a blow, you don't let him out of the corner and you keep on
Right.
hitting him and hitting him and hitting him,
Right.
right? Until they get down. Then they get down and get back up. You hit them again because they're vulnerable. Human nature, man.
Yeah.
Or maybe in
Yeah.
this case, bot nature. I don't know.
Bot nature.
Yeah.
Here's another update for you. Prudential. You've probably heard of them.
Prudential life insurance.
Prudential Insurance, right? They are pretty large insurance, benefits, all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Provider.
Right. They had a breach back in February. They notified 36,000 people that their info was leaked. It was driver's licenses, names, non-driver identification number. 36,000 people.
Hmm.
Turns out it was actually 2.5 million people that were impacted. So that's the latest update from them. It's
You know
just
these
interesting.
insurance providers, dude. So I think of it, right? Okay, so you got this information that's leaked. So you've got data elements that are leaked. My personal information. Great. The other thing is, we were talking about Disney last week and how Disney
Mhm.
has all these analytics, generational analytics
Yeah.
that they derive from the information that they have or the data that they have,
Yep.
come up with strategy. The
Hmm.
actuarial sciences, man, insurance companies are all about that. They're all about understanding risk and the risk you represent. That
Hmm.
analysis, that information, that wisdom must be
Hmm.
stored somewhere. If they
Oh
can
yeah.
compromise them and get access to this bespoke information, such as my driver's license or my birth date or social or whatever, they can get access to that stuff too. Imagine if they start getting insight. They've derived all this insight. They've done all this work. They've spent countless amount of dollars to get that done through time. They've got that information somewhere. If ever that stuff gets compromised, man, we're hosed. We
Yeah.
are hosed, my friend, because we are empowering these bad actors. We're going to give them all this insight and wisdom. We're going to give these people wisdom, these systems wisdom to be able to attack us and to attack others.
Hmm.
That's a scary bit, man.
Yeah.
So they went from 36,000 to what?
2.5 million.
A little bit of
2.5
a
million.
a little bit of an error in
A rounding
accounting,
error.
like a rounding error using an
Yeah.
abacus.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, something else I wanted to tell you. I IT Soul, I experienced a breach. I got a notification this morning,
A breach.
or yeah, not a breach, but a notification that a service that I use was breached. So I play Dungeons and Dragons. Now, keep in mind, I'm not that big of a nerd, but I'm enough of a nerd to play it. I've never,
Soul.
I know, honestly, it's kind
That's
of fun.
exactly what.
I,
Well, you know what? I would expect a guy that comes out of the military, having worked for Sear, to
yeah,
play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. It just seems like the type of role playing you guys do.
it's, oh, yeah, no, I mean, I guess more than you know. um, no, I mean, it's kind of cool. We do it once a month with her friends, and it's kind of interesting to like shift gears and
Hmm.
be imaginative and stuff like that. Anyway, so there's a couple different things we use. One of them is Roll20, and it's this
I have no idea what you're talking about.
well, it's a piece of software,
Okay.
the web service. We use it to, I think, do the actual game. Like there's a map on it and stuff like that.
Okay.
Anyway, you got to sign in. So they just let me know that they may have, let's see, on June 29th, an administrative account was compromised. They acted to ensure unauthorized access was blocked. Following the investigation, they learned that unauthorized third party had access to administrative tools, which may have resulted in the exposure of your personal information, such as your first and last name, email address, last known IP address, and last four digits of your credit card, if you had stored information. And I can't tell you how many of these I get.
Bro, you remember I told you last time you got all these systems out there and they all ask to store your credit card information.
Mm-hmm.
If you store your credit card information, once they get compromised, they get a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. Do you ever put your information, if you buy something online,
Dude, I
Google?
used to. I used
Yeah.
to put my information on everything because it was so easy.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like Google. Google will save your everybody's asking if they can please save your payment
Yeah.
information. They'll
Yeah,
trust
yeah,
us.
yeah. Yeah. I used to
Got
put
it.
everything like Chrome, this, that. Yeah, of course. It
It
was nice
scares
and
me.
easy. Nice and
Yeah.
easy because then I don't need to pull out my credit card when I'm doing something. I just put it there. You know what I mean? Select
Right.
it, done. I don't do that anymore. I cleared all that. That's way too risky.
Yeah.
But and then the other thing is, that Dungeons and Dragons. So I know nothing. Like if anybody doesn't know anything, I don't. The only thing I know about Dungeons and Dragons is because I watched The Big Bang Theory.
You know why? You know why I decided to play it?
Why?
Have you ever seen Stranger Things?
Yes, I have.
That's why.
Really? So you're new
Yeah.
to the game?
Oh yeah. I
Okay.
don't know what I'm
It's
doing.
not. It's
I'm a
not one of
level.
those things where you've been playing since you're a kid.
I'm a level two. I'm a level
Oh, there's
two
levels.
barbarian. That's right. I'm a level two barbarian / wizard, dual class, baby.
Okay. Okay. Pretending I know what that means. I guess my point is that you take these games and things like that lightly, and so people don't realize that it's just as risky as anything else. You're storing
Right?
information that's out there, and you just take
I
it lightly. You don't
I
think of it, right? You don't
yeah.
think anything of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And so and we talk about this a lot, like critical versus non-critical systems,
Hmm.
lateral movement in government. Roll20. I mean, how many little websites and applications and things like that you use for something that you think is like, for gaming,
Hmm.
non-critical,
Right.
and
Right.
it can be breached. There's
Yeah,
value in it.
exactly. I speaking of that, having your credit card information all over the place. Listen, I'm a man of technology. I use tech all the time.
Right.
So I'm a bit of a lazy person, I guess, because I use tech all the time. Maybe it makes me want to use it more. But I look at if you're going to use it, I just try to use one system.
Yeah.
You look at one system, you try. If your system is, for example, Apple Pay,
Hmm.
let's just say it's that. Put everything there and leave it in one area. And at least if you're going to pay things in an automated fashion, whether you're at the self checkout counter or you're just paying for gas or you're buying something online, a lot of them now have all that Apple Pay feature. And so at least your information is one location. Now it could still get breached
Hmm.
and it'd still be exposed. But to me, having it in one place is easier for me to manage because I can turn something on and off very quickly. I can manage the information that's there very quickly. And at least I'm not depending on, I rather depend on one company that I trust will do a good enough job, hopefully,
Hmm.
than to depend on 100 companies because they build up through time that hopefully will do a great job, and sometimes and you won't have any in there that do a poor job, and some of them that do a good enough job. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
rather it's a rather than have a one to many, I rather have a one to one and let that one to one deal with the one to many.
Yeah. Makes me think of identity sprawl.
Same
Yeah.
concept, just all easier to manage.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
digress.
Yeah. So it's a dangerous time to be trying to find solutions to Windows errors online nowadays. There's fake IT support websites that are out there, I guess. And so
Does that
there's
surprise you?
doesn't surprise me, but it kind of surprises me that well, so let me tell you about it though. So there's this Windows error. It's called the OX 800 706 43 error. It's like some
Sounds like a
sort of a
mouthful.
partitioning. Yeah, it's about some kind of partitioning error. Anyway, surfaced back in January 24. And so they're looking, they're trying to figure out how to fix it online. And so they're going to these websites like pchprwizard.com, another prwizard.com, and they're promoting fake fixes that involve running PowerShell scripts and or importing registry files. So you're basically downloading malware, which extracts sensitive data, extracts your credit cards, credentials, cookies, browsing history, cryptocurrency wallets. Wow, text files, 2FA authentication databases, all that. So they're going to websites where they think that there's a fix for this Windows problem. They're going through the steps, running PowerShell codes and downloading malware. So
So, dude, we've had these scam IT organizations for the longest time, right? How many times have you gotten calls, texts, emails from companies offering some type of service? They all thrive on urgency and
mhm,
danger, and you're infected with this, we can help you. My mother called me because she had an issue with her laptop and said that she was infected and she needed to call this number, and she called the number
mhm,
and before she told me anything, and they first thing they did is they started explaining to her how she was compromised and they were going to fix everything and they were going to connect to her computer to do it, and she
right.
needed to give her credit card information, and as soon as she heard that she panicked and hung up.
Yeah, good.
Dude, I mean, it's well organized. So,
I
and
know.
that's years ago.
Yeah,
Can and it's sort of like a facade, right? So
yeah,
websites that are well done, you know, they look impressive and they
mhm,
give you the perception that they know what they're talking about.
yeah,
And so people trust them a little bit more. And I wouldn't be surprised if some IT folks fall for that sometimes as well. But
yeah,
I would imagine that a lot of non-IT people see that, they say, okay, these people can help me with my problem, and they just trust.
yeah. Get your fixes from the official website. That's like, you know what I liken that to from a non-IT perspective is if you've ever tried to find like a book or any kind of piece of media, like a movie online without trying to pay for it.
I've never done that.
Me neither. But I've heard of people that have done it,
Hmm.
and you know, you'll you'll go to like you'll download malware.
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
LimeWire. Remember
you remember back
LimeWire?
in the day. Remember, well, yeah, exactly. Remember back in
Yeah,
the day, Napster, LimeWire. I mean, there was sometimes you download a file that didn't have any music. You say, "Oh, this one's no good."
yeah.
Meanwhile, you've downloaded some malware, some virus.
Those are the days, innocence.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Um,
Well, so and speaking of the facade with the deep fakes and things like that that exist today, I
mhm,
just see that growing into an even bigger problem. So okay, so you've got these websites that have now, it's the evolution of people sending you texts or those fearful emails, and things that make you believe or perceive that you're getting this type of value service when really it's someone that's trying to rip you off.
mhm, yeah.
with deep fakes, though, I mean, that's to me a next level. So
Yeah.
what happens is, so we have a YouTube channel. What happens if someone uses our likeness to try to promote something and uses the image that we try to portray, of certain professionalism, expertise, and with that replicates what we're doing, copies what we've got. It can even copy our faces and then have us say something that isn't really what we're saying through deep fake technology.
Yeah.
But that's scary stuff. I think
So
about that all the time. You know how many videos YouTube posts
yeah.
an hour?
Oh, do I know how many?
Yeah.
Let me see here. 150,000 videos an hour.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah. So the times 24, whatever that is.
Dude, 720,000 hours of videos are posted every day. That's crazy. So I say this. So if there are bad actors out there that are taking advantage of our likeness through deep fakes and posting them on YouTube, YouTube's got to catch them, right?
Yeah.
They use
Yeah.
AI. They use AI for monitoring, looking for not just that type of malicious activity. It could be illegal things. It could be hate speech, things like that that they're looking for. So they're looking for a whole bunch of different things. One of them that really concerns me is the people propagating misinformation on behalf of another person.
Hmm.
So, someone, I don't know, take Joe Rogan's likeness and create a social media profile, create a YouTube page, post, as Joe Rogan, but really it's not Joe Rogan. And then they're having Joe Rogan point somebody to something or some product
Yeah.
that is either because they want to sell the product and they're using his likeness, or they want to leverage the trust that he's built in his following to
Hmm.
take advantage of people. So YouTube has AI technology that they've deployed that is continually looking at that. They've got programs in place, like they've got groups of people that report information that
Yeah.
have been
Moderators.
empowered to,
Yep.
to identify stuff and then put it up. And then they got people physically looking at videos that are uploaded. Let's say they caught all of them. Okay, fine. But certainly they can't catch all of them the moment they hit.
Hmm.
And so the stuff that squeaks through, there's still some vulnerability,
Yeah.
right? Same thing for Facebook, same thing for Instagram.
Hmm.
All that stuff can happen there when you're posting stuff. They've got systems, bots, people, processes, groups in place that are looking to identify, call out bad actors.
Hmm.
But it still exists. There's
Yeah.
stuff that still squeaks through. You
Yeah.
can't believe 100% of what you see and what you hear during the NBA finals. I was seeing some stuff come out where like Luka Doncic was talking badly about Boston and how
Yeah.
he
You told me
hated
about
them
that.
and blah 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 and going all that, and then the coach coming out the next day talking about how he thought everybody sucked and things like that. And then you look at it, that's AI, that's all deep fakes. No one ever said any of that. But if you don't
Yeah.
know any better, if you don't look under the hood a little bit, if you don't research, you'll look at that quick and say, "Ah, this guy, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he said that.
Hmm.
He's an asshole." Right?
Yeah.
So I look at all that stuff and I think to myself that there's a lot that we need to do. So when we tell people to reach out to us, for example, they need to reach out
Mhm.
to us at the source. So reach out to us via LinkedIn on our profiles. Less likelihood of it being a scam, but at least we're telling you where to reach out.
Mhm.
The address. Go to our Instagram page that we say to go to on this page. But at the end of the day, people still need to do their research. People still
Yeah.
need to be wary of who they're interacting with.
Absolutely. That's what it
So
boils down to.
it really comes down to being responsible yourself for that type of stuff. As technology increases, the threats increase, the defense tactics increase, but in the middle of all that is us, the
Hmm.
humans. So
Hmm.
us as humans, man, we gotta make sure that we are on top of it.
So I I think we've been healthcare has been taking a large spot in our podcast.
Yeah.
Change Health, Ascension, and it's always it tends to be third party or breaches via third party. And
Hmm.
we got another one here.
Really.
Yep, yep. Geisinger Health. They're based out of Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
huge. I think they serve, what is it, over 40 counties in Pennsylvania. Huge health organization down there.
What are they? A practice? What are they?
They're a practice. Yeah.
Okay.
They're a, yep. So they
Community
serve most of
practice.
Pennsylvania. I mean, I think they're a bit larger than a community practice.
Okay. Well, 40 counties. That's pretty big. You're right.
Right. So they basically what happened is back in November 23, this is early last year or late last year, excuse me. Their third party IT service provider, Nuance Communications, notified them that a former employee, after they were fired, had accessed personal information. And they accessed the information of over a
So
million.
they didn't on. I didn't offboard this person
in
properly.
an offboard. Yeah. Yeah. So a third party
Mm.
didn't properly offboard an employee, which impacted Geisinger.
Ay, ay, ay. So, wow. So that means that,
A million patients, a million records.
dude, so that means you need to really consider, we talk about app sprawl and we talk about
Mhm.
identity sprawl.
Mhm.
And identity sprawl is basically where people go sign up for things and they have so many of them that you don't realize how many are out there. And then some things that they've signed up for while in your organization, you may not be aware of from an IT perspective, or you have some lax processes in IT where things didn't get identified. Then when you offboard them and you leave, you turn off XYZ things that you thought they had, but you didn't turn off ABC that you didn't know they had. That's
Right.
one problem. But the fact that a third party also has that issue just exacerbates that problem. It just grows the risk grows exponentially.
Yeah.
So you need to work with your third parties, right?
Yeah.
When you offboard somebody.
I think
Can you imagine also when you want to offboard someone that it's business, right? It's about perception. And so sometimes you don't want to necessarily let people know that people are no longer with the organization because you think it might give your organization a bad
exactly
image if others perceive people as leaving or mass exodus, or this is a key person and you don't really want everybody to know that that person's not there anymore. But you don't tell your third parties or you don't tell your customers, and these people had access to systems.
Yeah.
You got a moral obligation to do it.
Right.
Screw
It's
perception.
a policy thing.
Screw perception.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty messed up, man.
So, but the fix for Geisinger. It's not necessarily a fix, but they can mitigate this risk by being aware of who their data partners are and what their policies are. Do they have a solid security posture?
Hmm.
Do they have appropriate policies and procedures when folks are termed?
Yeah.
And I think as a prime, if you're working with vendors, you need to know these things.
And you have that stuff documented. You need to have the procedures in place. So when somebody leaves, there's offboarding that you need to be able to communicate it to them. And they need to demonstrate to you that they've complied so that you no longer have a risk. Because if you didn't tell the person, or you did tell the person and they didn't remove them and they've got access to the system, they can move laterally back into your system.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a big, big web.
Sure is.
Well, all right, man. Appreciate everything you brought to the table this week. Look forward to some updates on some of these and some future discussions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. So I wanted to thank our listeners and viewers once again for listening to our either a podcast on Spotify or Apple Play or Apple Podcasts. And to those that are watching us on YouTube or through LinkedIn, watching our videos, appreciate you guys. And I encourage you to give us a shout. Let us know what topics interest you. Even if you got questions, love to help you guys. And to our sponsors, Cloud Warriors, they can be reached at cloudwarriors.ai. Thank you for your continued support. Really appreciate it. Let's T and I do what we love to do, and that's to talk through and educate folks about stuff in a leisurely manner. But really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support and the partnership throughout. So with that, T, I
Yes.
bid you a good week. I bid you a good
Thank you.
4th. Hope you have a
too.
lot of barbecue, a lot of beer, a lot of fun, a lot of family time.
I'm gonna put on about 5 pounds in the next 2 days.
It's okay. You can go running after.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you,
All
man.
right. Talk to you soon.
All right. See you.